Yeah, any questions, feel free.
Do you currently have any abatements from companies right now, or at your Taylor location?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to give a more overview of the actual tax abatement. I know you guys have seen them before, but this expansion is really exciting both for Hearn Industrial Services and for the city of Taylor. It's ultimately going to mean new jobs, more investment in the community, beautification of a property in Taylor, expanded business. So it really is exciting, but it's also a really big financial decision for a company to make. This is a huge expansion. They're doubling the size of this facility in Taylor, and not only am I talking about the investment that goes into actually building this expanded facility, but there's financial burden with looking for new talent, training that new talent, bringing them on board, purchasing and installing new machinery and equipment, and all of that comes with overhead costs that need to be carried until the company's up and running with this new business. So that is why we have Michigan Public Act 198. It was enacted to encourage businesses like Hearn Industrial Services to expand and grow in Michigan. And what it does is it reduces real estate property taxes by 50% for up to 12 years. And the steps, as you guys are familiar with, step 1 is holding a public hearing and then establishing a district. That is on the agenda for council tomorrow. Step 2 is also the approval of an exemption certificate. So that's when you would approve the number of years for a tax abatement. That's also on the agenda for tomorrow. And then step 3 is more or less a formality. After city council approves a tax abatement in Michigan, it goes to the state tax tribunal for their approval, and they really, it's a rubber stamp at that point. They go with whatever the cities have agreed to. So as Stephen mentioned, the current facility is about 110,000 square feet, constructed in 1992. He did invest quite a bit of money into that facility when he first purchased it and moved in, but there are still some things like the roof and other infrastructure improvements that would need to happen with this expansion. So he anticipates investing about $5.68 million in the building and property improvements themselves. That includes things like the new roof, infrastructure improvements for the whole facility, the stormwater retention pond that he mentioned out back, and then he also anticipates investing another $2.2 million just in machinery and equipment for this new facility. This is a little bit of a better rendering of what the new building, so the existing building is there in tan. The addition is going to be on the south side of the building, an additional almost 100,000 square feet. You see new parking around the back as well, infrastructure improvements, new trees, landscaping, signage at the front of the property that you'd see from here on the street. And then here in the back is a retention pond, which will serve to manage stormwater across the whole site, which really reduces the strain on the city and county stormwater systems. There's a rendering as well. So the white portion of the building in this rendering is what's existing, and what's in brown is what is proposed.
While we're on this slide, I got a quick question, and I don't know if you guys can possibly answer this, or you can possibly. The 50% tax incentive, is it just on the new that's built, or is it on the overall scope of what they're paying taxes on? Okay, just on the new build.
Yes.
Okay. So whatever the increase of the taxes would be from the addition, it's 50% off from that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Everything except for the school education tax.
Okay.
That one's excluded. It's just how the program works. These are a projection of the new jobs to be created. Stephen mentioned there's 87 jobs currently at the company. And he anticipates hiring another 103 staff over the next couple of years. It's an assortment of positions and salaries.
Like stated before, I mean, that's for awarded business, that's all we know of right now. So
Okay.
obviously, this is, you know, we hope that this continues to go on, you know. We all know what's happening in the automotive industry eventually, but,
Right.
you know, we're kind of in that, I don't want to say recession-proof, but we do a lot of the service aspect. We're not so demanded by if the Chrysler shuts down or something. So.
Can I just say, add something too, because I don't know if you guys talked about it before I got here, and I apologize for being late on that. We had also had talked about connecting with the schools.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have some students in our career center that maybe, you know, could learn a lot of these jobs that he has here, train them, and then hopefully they stay
Yep.
in your facilities.
Yeah, yeah, no,
That's another goal that
perfect
I'd
segue
like to see
for me.
happen.
Thanks.
And like I told, like when you came and toured the site, I mean, a lot of our people are, you know, whatever level they are at, most of them have been hired with him, or promoted with him, I should say. And it's word of mouth. I mean, we really pride ourselves on, if you could poll some of our employees on, is it a good place to work at, and we have a lot of return, you know, we don't have a lot of turnover at all. It was tough in the beginning, I'll tell you. It's good now. Feel like good morale.
So there's a lot of really great impacts from this project, and Hearn Industrial Services expanding here in Taylor, not just jobs, but, you know, continuing his good partnership with the community, sponsoring events, and just being a good corporate citizen here in Taylor. To that effect, I want to pass around this packet. So George mentioned the grading criteria.
I'm gonna pass it on.
Yeah.
Steve.
No, it's front and back.
No.
Yeah. So this is the grading criteria that Stephen and I put together that shows that this project could be awarded a 12-year tax abatement. That's what we are requesting, based on, again, the number of jobs is literally off the charts on this criteria sheet, hiring well over 100,000 jobs. The investment, again, is above the top. Improvements to the site include landscaping and signage. The stormwater is huge improvement, reducing impact and strain on the city's and county's stormwater system. And for these reasons, we're requesting a 12-year abatement.
Well, you're saying you're gonna hire 100 people, or, you know, I mean, that's something that we can't confirm, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things where, you know, we may not necessarily vote, we may and we may not, but I'm just saying that it's easy to say that I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then the possibilities of that not happening. There is a possibility of that
Of
not
course,
happening.
yeah,
you
there's
know?
always a risk.
Because, you can't remember, what's the most, what did we give Oakwood, 10?
12.
12 years?
Mr. Chairman, they did get a max abatement.
Okay.
Well,
You do have,
the job creation is part of the clawback agreement though,
Yes.
so these guys would be in default of this agreement if they don't create at least 103 jobs in the first 2 years. Supposed to be 51 the first year, 103 the second year, 20% of which are supposed to be Taylor residents. So if those numbers don't come through, then they'd be in violation of the agreement.
But I think you also know, I don't think we've gotten any report on the Oakwood if they met.
No, I was just commenting on this. We
Sure.
should want to see the progress of the last 3 or 4 abatements that we've approved and how those companies perform. But specific to this presentation, it's 51 and 103.
To the chair, I know I keep good communication with a lot of the people that we do abatements with. I know Oakwood Group has hired 400 people, way surpassed their requirements. I was actually shocked. And there is ways to find out if they're Taylor residents. I mean, you know, poll, give me, I went all the pay with 48180. They confirm that. So there are ways to measure to make sure that they're hitting their criteria.
And we have no issues in opening up our books to you. I know where our criteria is at now, and we can tell you, here's our payroll list of people right now. And you'll see where their checks go to.
Well, in this agreement, and I believe that the prior ones require you to turn in a report to us to give us that information, so we shouldn't have to go look for it. We should get a report from you, and you're gonna say, here's how many jobs, here how many Taylor residents, here's how we've done investment-wise. And that's kind of what we were looking for, unrelated to you, but on prior abatements, how have those companies performed, and what does that mean to me relative to your application?
We'll give you a report of everything every quarterly if you want.
Also, the stormwater thing, I think that's a requirement anyways. Am I correct in assuming that? That's, you know, I know it's an improvement to the site, but that's gonna be required anyways.
That's part of the building.
Yeah, I think that's what the county law, and